Welcome, and we're here to play the IFQ Game of Facts. I'm Faye D'Souza. This is going to be really exciting. Now, IFQ has challenged the bias of 500,000 young Indians so far by basically getting them to quiz on facts and challenging what they already believed is facts about our country. It's a really cool way to get around. Now, the India Fact Quiz is supported by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and it's a platform where young minds battle it out every week to become the Fact Marshal. Now, the pandemic of all things has shown us how misinformation can be really dangerous and how facts can be our friend. So in this quiz as well, we're going to go through information that you and I must know about our country, and we are going to beat that rampant misinformation on the IFQ, or the India Fact Quiz. Because I'm your Quizmaster, and we have 5 really cool young adults who are here to play the quiz for us. So let me quickly introduce you to our contestants. First contestant is Rohan from Malappuram district. Rohan, say hi.
Hi.
All right, Rohan. We also have Mayuri. Mayuri joins us from Mumbai. Mayuri?
Hi.
Hi, all right. And we have Rajpriya Bhati from Jabalpur. That's pretty cool. Rajpriya, how are you doing?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Pradyumna Chaudhary from Agartala.
Hi everyone. Hi Faye.
And nice to meet you. And we have Soumya Bharta Chakrabarti from Kolkata.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. All right, guys. So if everyone's internet connection is stable, that's actually a prerequisite to doing anything. While we've got everybody on board, let's quickly get to it. But before we start, I do want to ask you guys a couple of questions, if I may. Let me start with Rohan. Rohan, what's the lockdown been like in Malappuram, and how have you dealt with the last few months?
Yeah, here there is a triple lockdown, a special lockdown, and the corona cases are a little bit low here.
Well, we do know, of course, that Kerala did an excellent job in managing its first phase, and they see this as phase 3. But much love to everyone in Kerala who's in their triple lockdown now, and hopefully those cases will come down fairly soon. Mayuri from Mumbai. Mayuri, I know life has been different for a lot of young people. You haven't been able to go out, you haven't been able to meet your friends. But what's been your biggest sort of lifestyle change in the lockdown?
Actually, one lifestyle nowadays is work from home, studying. I started doing yoga as well. Something changed at work. Nothing much.
All right, so nothing much has changed. Rajpriya, I want to understand from you. What's the first thing you will do when the lockdown opens, when you're allowed to go out as normal?
Ma'am, first of all, my final year examination is going to happen because it's stuck right now. And there's a lot of dilemma and confusions among us and in the UGC also, that when examination was going to happen. Therefore, I had started preparing for the examination, but suddenly they have stopped conduct examination now. Now we are waiting for a final decision to happen.
I wish you good luck. And of course, if you are a quiz enthusiast, I'm assuming that you already know enough to get you by in flying colors. Pradyumna Chaudhary from Agartala. Same question to you. What's the first thing you're likely to do when the lockdown opens?
I guess I'll go and watch Tenet and WW84 if that comes out. I've been waiting for those 2 movies for a long time. I'm a DC fan, so that's it. Probably.
And finally, our final contestant, Soumya Bharta from Kolkata. What do you think? I've always wondered this, right? So we've been locked down now for 4 months or more, and this is enough time to change a habit. So a lot of people have stopped reading the newspaper. People have changed their habits a lot. Is there any one habit of yours that has changed?
Yes, ma'am. Before the lockdown, I was very, excited, and I didn't want to be patient most of the times. But during lockdown, I have seen that using meditation can help me, can relieve stress a long way using meditation. So I have been regularly doing meditation during this lockdown, and it has helped me immensely.
I'm very impressed actually for a young person to have picked up meditation. I don't think there are many others who've done that, but hopefully It's a habit that will hold you in good stead through your life. All right, are you guys ready to play?
Yes, ma'am.
Just you? What about the rest? The rest of you ready to play?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's quickly understand the rules of this game. Remember, on your screen, you'll see a URL. Log in to Kahoot. Now, once you log into Kahoot, you will have the question pop up. And once everyone has joined in Kahoot, I will start the quiz. Now, once I start the quiz, you'll see question and multiple choice answers on your screen. And we're waiting for all of the players to join. You have to use your handheld device, so whatever your smartphone, and you click on the choice of answer. And immediately you have 20 seconds to answer, and we'll see the right answer pop up on your screen. Of course, those who answer fastest will get more points for the same question. And after 10 questions, we'll see a leaderboard as to who has won the quiz. Most importantly, I have to tell you that this is all for fun. Okay, so we have 5 players. Rajpriya has also joined in, so it's time for our first question. Are you guys ready? You've got your finger on your touch screens. Here is your first question. More rural households own landline telephones than mobile phones. Is that true or false? So here's the question again. I'll read it, and this is a question based on the year 2015-16. More rural households own a landline phone than mobile phones. Is that true or false? And 2 more seconds to answer that question. False is the right answer. There are 3 people who got it right. 2 people out of you got it wrong. Now, obviously, as we've heard, and that's our leaderboard, so we know who got it wrong and who got it right. And Mayuri, you were the fastest in answering that question, so congratulations. 7.8% of the urban population has landlines, but only 1.9% of the rural population own a landline. Today, 3.9% of the total population uses landline telephones. We know that the penetration of mobile phones in India is 90.4%. So rural India sort of leapfrogged and said, don't need a landline, we'll go straight to the mobile phones. The right answer there by Mayuri, and right behind her, there's Pradyumna and Rajpriya. That's question number 2 out of 10 coming up. So you have time to catch up on this one. Most number of medical colleges in the state are in, and here are your options: Delhi, Chandigarh, Karnataka, and Arunachal Pradesh. You have 22 seconds on the clock to answer this question. Remember, you do get extra points for being the fastest person to answer the question. Most number of medical colleges among these states are in Delhi, Chandigarh, Karnataka, or Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so everybody answered, and obviously the correct answer is Karnataka. Karnataka has 57 medical colleges, the most in any state in India. There's a total of 501 medical colleges throughout the country, and of that, 57 are in the state of Karnataka. Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. Pradyumna got that fastest, so he's bumped up now to place number 1. Mayuri, and then we see Kakakshi has come in at number 3. All right, if everyone's ready now, let's move on to our next question. Question number 3. India had laws to prevent animal cruelty before America did. Is that true or false? Oh, that was quick. 3 people answering true, 2 people answering false. The right answer is true. So India actually pioneered Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act in 1960. The US only had that law come in 1966. So we beat the US by 6 years, and India was actually ahead of the US in bringing out a law of prevention of cruelty for animals. Let's take a look at that leaderboard. Pradyumna is killing it right on top at this point. It was a really fast answer, so congratulations, but the other 2 can catch up pretty quickly. Let's move on to our next question. Question number 4. India is the first country in the world to begin what program? Traffic control, family planning, rainwater harvesting, or tribal culture? That's your 4th question. India is the first country in the world to begin what program? And the picture is a clue. Traffic control, family planning, rainwater harvesting, or tribal culture. Okay, so we've skipped past that really quickly, but the right answer here is family planning. India became the first country to bring in the national program of family planning called HUMDO. HUMDO was launched in 1952 under the Nehru-led Congress government with the goal of lowering the fertility rate and slowing the population growth rate in India. Pradyumna still completely killing it over there, and he is now putting quite a gap between him and the next person coming in at number 2. So let's give you some more questions. Remember, Pradyumna Chaudhary right now has a winning streak of 4 correct answers back to back. So the rest of you guys have a lot of catching up to do. Let's move on to question number 5. Less than 30% of the urban-rural households were covered by health insurance, covered by a health insurance scheme. Let's take a look at it. True or false? Less than 30% of urban and rural households are covered by health insurance. True or false? And the answer is true. All of you got it right, which means all of you get the points. Now we have to take a look at who got it fastest. Well, Pradeep, keeping that lead over there, that's really interesting. Let's move down forward. Question number 6. Most number of severely anemic children, 6 to 59 months old, are in which state? Dadar Nagar Haveli, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, or the state of Delhi? 22 seconds on the clock. Who has the right answer? Remember, the photograph that's revealing on your screen is also a clue, so you should have had it by now. Right, so the correct answer is Delhi. Now, in terms of population, Delhi has the most number of anemic children as a percentage of the population, remember. On the other hand, in terms of prevalence of anemia in general, Dadar Nagar Haveli has the highest prevalence. 84% of the children are anemic. Let's move on now to question number 7, just before we check the leaderboard. Pradyumna still has a lead there. All right, let's go on to question number 7. More women work in administration than scientific or technical teams in the Indian space centers. True or false? So do more women employed in companies like ISRO work in admin, or do they work in science and the tech teams? Correct answer is false. There are apparently right now 1,210 women in admin staff, but 1,978 women in the scientific and tech teams of our space centers. So 4 of you have got that answer right. Let's quickly take a look at where that places you at the end of that question. There's a gap that's completely closing there between number 1 and number 2, so that's really cool. Quickly, 2 more. We have 3 more questions to go, after which we will discuss your choices. Let's take a look at question number 8. The state most prone to forest fires as a percentage of total forest cover among these is Uttarakhand, Mizoram, Karnataka, or Chhattisgarh. Your time starts now. Mizoram is the correct answer. Mizoram actually has 5,423 square kilometers of forest, extremely fire prone, making it the most fire prone state in terms of a percentage of forest land. However, in terms of actual square kilometers, Assam is the most fire-prone state because it has a larger amount of land that's actually forest. Moving on to our 9th question. Remember, guys, we only have 2 more questions for you to make up that gap and catch up with Pradyumna, who's now leading very comfortably. Question number 9. Adopting hygienic menstrual protection method is 4 times higher among high school graduates than those who have not gone to high school. Is that true or false? Okay, everybody seems to have gotten that right. So yes, that's absolutely true. 80% or more of the women who've gone to high school and graduated use hygienic methods of menstrual protection. Only 19% of those who haven't gone to school use hygienic methods as well. If we quickly take a look at the leaderboard, now in this case, it will depend on who got the answer fastest. And we can see that that leaderboard hasn't changed too much. We have, guys, one last question out of the 10 questions. If you're ready for the last one, the National Institute of Communicable Diseases designed this to curb mosquito-borne diseases? Here are your options. A pesticide cum room freshener, a nylon net, a desert cooler, and a medicated incense stick. Nope. Okay. This is really interesting. Nobody got it right. The answer is the desert cooler. Actually, to be very, very frank, I didn't get this right either. I assumed it was the nylon net, but the National Institute of Communicable Diseases designed and patented this cooler for the first time in 2009. The water tank of the cooler is completely covered and doesn't require weekly cleaning because that water would have become a breeding ground for mosquitoes. But this cooler makes sure that there's no risk because the water is not exposed. So here's one that caught us all as a googly. None of us knew what the answer was to that one. So it turns out the National Institute of Communicable Diseases in India came up with the desert cooler. And that brings us now to the end of our fact quiz. Let's take a look at it. Who do we have? Ro we have in number 3. Rakshi in number 2. I think this became pretty obvious after question number 3. We have Yunma, who has come in at number 1. This was really fun. So thank you guys for playing. Of course, this was the first of our many, many live quizzes. We have many more to come. You can participate in the game of facts with me. All you have to do is to follow IFQ social media handles and enter the quizzes whenever they pop up. Let me see, Pradina, how do you feel after being the first sort of fact marshal for this week? You got almost everything, 7 out of 10 right.
I was nervous at first, but initially getting the initial questions correct kind of calmed me down, so it got easier as I went through.
Are you a regular quizzer?
Yes.
That shows. But the mosquito net, the communicable disease.
I did not think this through. I should have. So in our hostels itself, in the summer semester, so what we do is we get a cooler for our rooms, just on the summers, and there are a lot of mosquitoes. I should have thought that through. The last moment pressure got me through.
Well, actually, even I thought it was the nylon net because when we were growing up, the mosquito net was like a really popular, prevention mode. But I hadn't considered the desert cooler at all. But I want to ask the others as well. Yeah, Rohan came in at number 3. Rohan, what answers did you sort of not guess? And why do you think you picked the wrong answer?
Actually, I was a little bit tense, so I don't remember that. I'm not just tense.
You were just tense. Rajpriya also did really well. Rajpriya, did you have fun playing the quiz?
Yes, ma'am. I had a great fun. Yeah.
Fun?
I got so many new information.
Give me an example of something you learned on the quiz you didn't know before this.
Ma'am, like medical colleges, I was not knowing that there's more in Karnataka.
Yeah. But actually, so Karnataka is engineering and medical colleges is a really big thing. The cities of Mysore, Bangalore are very, very big on medical colleges. But you're right, if you don't live in the state of Karnataka, it's a little difficult to assume that. And Soumya Bharta, did you find anything here that sort of tripped you up that you didn't know about earlier?
I think the first question was something out of the blue. It came on really fast, so that's why I think I couldn't concentrate a little more. It's common sense that more rural areas will obviously use mobile phones more than landlines. But the first question came quite quick, so that's why I couldn't think it through. So that's the problem. Other questions were really good. I will not I had some semblance of idea for the other questions because I have been regularly doing the IFQ quizzes, so I have some idea about them. But the first one was really came on pretty quick.
All right, so feedback for us to slow down the first question, but it was so much fun, guys. I had a blast playing the IFQ quiz with you. So, and I don't know if the rules say that you can't participate again next week. So I hope to see all 5 of you again. And once again, congratulations to the winner and the Fact Marshal. Remember, we should all be Fact Marshals. There's nothing wrong with knowing as many facts as possible. So tune in next week and we'll play some more. We'll learn while we're at it. I know I learned a few things on this quiz as well. And I also met 5 very cool young people. So I'll see you guys next week on the IFQ Game of Facts. Bye. Thanks for watching.